You're listening to In Context Podcast. This season is proudly powered by AltSchool Africa.
Hello.
Yellow.
Let us
You
say
say
it
hello.
together.
I said yellow and I'm
Because
prepared.
you are wearing yellow.
Well, see, we are so equally
Oh,
yoked because
God. Oh, God.
like I was literally just telling someone on crew that I know my joke for the opening sequence. I'm gonna say yellow.
it's spending too much time
Get
with
it?
you. I already know what you're going to say. Anyway, she's
Anyway.
wearing a yellow dress in case you are listening.
In case you missed it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Chibit. Okay.
Guys, please, it's welcome to a context
Guys.
podcast.
Okay,
Please.
well, my name is Joanna.
Hi, Joanna.
Oh, you
Not
see?
our guest.
Normally,
Relax.
proper human being. Unlike some people at the other end
you always fight
of this couch.
I don't understand. I'm with you in every episode. At this point, it's giving. I don't want to use that word, but it starts with a T. You get it?
That's
But
what-
if you insist.
Anyway.
Hi everyone. My name is Oluwatoyin.
Okay,
Oluwatoyin
Oluwati.
for short.
No.
I said the number of times I said Oluwatoyin, she still went and shortened it. Can you see that this is a problem?
Oluwati. And shout out to Ivy because Ivy gives everybody nicknames. And she gave her that one and it's stuck. So love
It's
it for you.
Oluwatoyin to you.
But yes, my name is Joanna, but you should call me Jo. Just because,
Oh, wow.
normally now that's the way they do things, but I
Yeah.
don't want to shout too much. There's a really beautiful Barbie looking guest in the house tonight. It's not tonight, sorry. It's
It's where time you are watching. You don't worry about that.
whatever. I love that. That was a good save. There's a very beautiful guest.
Yeah.
She looks like a doll. Oh my gosh, she's
I always
so
look
radiant.
like a doll, please.
Yay, Ella.
But thank you, my dear.
Enter,
Thank you, my dear.
You know what's fair? I raised the self-esteem is very high.
Yeah.
I love it.
so cute.
But yeah, we have a really special someone in the studio today. And anyway, it's someone that I can say I go way back with. But yeah, you definitely have seen the face at this point. This is Rachel Onoja. And without further ado, I'm going to wink
Welcome.
again to Fisayo
Thank
Fosudo.
you. Thank you.
Without further ado, I'm going to do a proper introduction of
Yes,
our
please.
guest. Okay, so let me just read the bio. So Rachel Onoja is the head of operations at AltSchool Africa.
Our sponsors.
Our sponsors.
That's
Yes.
right, that's right.
She's passionate about learning program operations management and tech education advocacy. We'll talk about your background and all of that soon. She's also driven by the need to ensure that every African has access to future-proof marketable skills. Again, remember what our sponsor is all about? Yeah, just do your 2
Exactly.
+ 2. It should add up to 4. That's the expo.
Or it.
2 + 2.
Girl.
Wow. Anyway, she's an educator who strives to unveil life-changing opportunities to techies through adequate preparation for better positioning to get into tech while leveraging their local community. She's really nodding.
It's giving LinkedIn.
She has executed her passion for upskilling individuals, increasing the average salary of techies through communities such as Women Tech Makers, Google Developers Group, and Developer Circles from Meta, and through her previous role at Decagon, where she led developers placement activities and the Andela Learning Community, where she managed all of Northeast Nigeria and Tanzanian communities.
Give it
She
international.
also leads the Pipeline by TalentQL program to empower intermediate software engineers into world-class engineers, with several graduates getting 5 to 8 times more than their previous salaries in their new roles. In her role at AltSchool Africa, she leads several teams as they aim for more efficient processes and quality products for all students.
Ooh,
Okay.
wow.
So
Wow.
it was
That
a
was
lot.
impressive.
Um
But one thing me I heard is that, you help people get more money?
Do you want more money?
Good. Is not a question? I don't get.
Dangote. But round up, this is the definition of small but mighty.
Yeah.
So just please tell the class what your height is.
Wow, Jojo, wow.
Joanna. Now, one
Nice
would
one.
think, one would imagine that, oh my God, Joanna is definitely in the taller height.
Honestly, you are not qualified to open
When
your
you are
mouth
not
to
either.
cast aspersions on my character.
You're not either.
I am actually quite a tall woman.
Are you?
The two of you are petite women. I am
You
a
are.
normal sized woman.
Oh,
Wow.
If
Nice
you
one,
insist,
nice
if you
one.
say so, right? Okay.
So for clarity's sake, these are shortingos.
At 5'5", at 5'5", Joanna. At 5'5".
Okay, so now it's now my own statistic that is outside. Okay, now let's go around this couch.
Okay,
What is
let's
your
go
height?
round.
What's your height?
5'3", so.
Oh, hey.
Okay, 5'5".
You, what's your height?
5'2".
Oh, yeah, so cute and dainty. Lovely. I don't know about that girl over there.
This love-hate relationship you want to be doing can't work. It won't work. It cannot work. Anyway, you know that she's a friend of the house because of the vibe. Because
Yeah.
Yes,
you can already
actually.
tell.
Oh my God. But anyway, I digress.
Anyway, now that we're laughing and
Yeah.
there's all fun and games, I want to, take you back to childhood a little bit.
Okay.
What are you thinking already? Don't worry, it's not it's not that deep. But what was a fun memory when you were growing up for you?
Fun memory growing up. Her.
Mommy Rachel,
Wait,
I've come to report your daughter to you.
Think a little now.
Fun memory growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think so. This is secondary school, early secondary school. We do this thing whereby so my school, I attended Baptist Academy, Gombe, and we have the school is so you know how you have like the streets and then you have an estate on the other side of the school, and every day. So we have normal school hours, and then by 1 p.m. you close.
Okay, used
then
to
there's
close
a
by 1
break.
p.m.
I don't know if it was 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. And then you close, and then there will be like 30 minutes break before you start lessons.
Okay, yes, it was 1 p.m.
So in between those, that's 30 minutes. So we would always go to the estate, and it's not allowed, but we'd always go. I don't know if you remember the super deep. What do they call it? So we call it super deep in the north. It's like jolly juice that is diluted, and then it's sort of like frozen.
Oh, tasty
Like-
time. Okay,
like
what's the
time
time?
is-
Yeah, they just call it lolly.
Yeah,
Lolly.
Yeah.
So we call it like I think super deep also. I can't remember. But then we would go and buy, and then we'll come back. And it's that you want to try to finish it
Before you
Got you.
before you get back to school. You have 30 minutes to run, buy, come back, and then get into class. And so it has this very weird color.
Yes.
Your tongue is not allowed. So I think that's like one of my fondest memory. The fact that we were always trying to like beat against time and all
Okay,
that.
so what I'm hearing is that being a hooligan brings you
She has been doing it from
wow.
Wow.
a long time.
So that was the moral of the story for you.
When I break the law, it's very fun for me to break the law.
I think the best part
So
was
there's a criminal in the house.
no comments.
Oh, you're not even defending yourself.
No comments.
Wow. Well, there was a cut.
No comments. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you shall try. I can see that you didn't break any bones in the process.
I didn't.
Okay.
Like we had a
so-
classmate who actually got hit by.
I say hooliganism gives this lady joy.
The moment you said we had it, I knew that.
But he's all right. He's alive. So
Correct.
yeah.
Did anybody
good to
lose their front teeth? Actually,
He did lose
let's
his
even
front
talk about irrational fears, because I have a very random and funny irrational fear. Do you have a random irrational fear that
If it
doesn't make
happens.
sense to anybody? Let's go round.
Yes, sir.
What's yours?
I feel like, and I don't know why I think this. There is no reason I don't use glasses, but I just feel like one day if I wake up and I can't say my word is there, I would just
Fair enough.
I'll just leave the word.
Very-
So as I can't just say, I'll just leave the
Very
word.
valid. Very valid. Do you have a random irrational fear?
Do I? I don't think so.
Wow.
You just think
I feel like
will go
I
where?
might have one, but I just see it as, you know what, one day face your fears. What's the worst that
So it's not
Oh.
irrational, but you
They're
just have
not
a
nat-
fear. What's the fear?
I have fear of snakes.
That's not irrational, Joe. If I tell you my irrational fear, I will understand her own. Okay, so my irrational
I
fear
can already tell that.
is that one day, because when I was in secondary school,
Yeah.
not to brag or anything, but I used to, get awards every now and then.
Say someone that is bragging, but okay, carry on.
Rolling my
But that's
eyes.
not the point. So I am fairly familiar with being called up to a stage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fairly. So my irrational fear is
Oh, you're with.
one day being called up to the stage,
Yeah.
climbing up, tripping and falling,
fall.
but that's not where it ends.
Okay, there's more.
And then she loses
So
it.
when I stand up, I'll not be reassuring the guests like I fall. Everybody goes. Then I'll now stand up and be like, I'm okay, guys. I'm okay. And then my two front seats are gone and there's blood coming out.
You know what? I feel that fear is actually valid.
It's so irrational.
And now that you
but
mention it now, I will be thinking about it every Joanna.
it's such a weird fear. But yeah, I know it's very irrational. It's
So
never
I
happened
have
to
sort
me.
of lived your fear, just that I didn't live it.
So you fell down and you stood up. Like, I'm okay, guys. I'm okay.
I didn't do. I'm
That's
okay.
the most embarrassing part. I'm okay, guys. Guys, I'm fine. With the blood coming down. And no
So
two
what I
front
did
seats.
was I sort of like fell and then I stood up and then I did this curtsy.
What? It off.
I was just like, you know what? I moved on and everybody just laughed and then I went on stage and then I sort of like used like an icebreaker, right? Like, oh wow, someone didn't want me to collect this award. Sorry. Oh.
You think
Yeah.
you're charismatic?
It's like
I'll
on
give
the
it. I'll give it to you. I'll
floor.
give it to you. I'll give it to you. Collect that
On the
handshake.
fly, on the fly. Nice.
Yeah, witty. Okay, love it. Okay, you know what? Let's talk about your career journey, right?
Yeah.
You started working while you were in uni,
Yeah.
or volunteering,
yeah.
all of that. Let's just talk about it. What you studied in uni, how you got into tech education, advocacy, all of that stuff.
Okay. First off, I didn't go to uni. Well, I'm doing
Sorry,
uni right now.
in
Polytech-
tertiary.
Yeah. So I
education.
attended a polytechnic. In my first year, we had this. So with polytechnics, depending on which one you attend, mine you do 2 years of national diploma, you do 1 year of internship, and then you do 2 years of higher national diploma. So I think my first year did the first year, and then in between that first year, so we have this 4 months. After your first year, you go like on a 4 months internship before coming back for your second year. So within that 4 months, everybody wanted to go for internship in bank where they will make money. But I think for me, growing up, I always wanted to be a medical doctor.
Oh
But
yeah.
You were not the only one. You were not.
I
don't
know,
worry,
right?
Don't
I
worry.
never
Don't
I
worry.
always wanted to be a newscaster. Look at me now.
Look at
Look at you now,
the
as
brain.
in what?
I did in front of
Newscasting.
camera now. What do you mean by that?
well.
If you want, now I can read news for you.
If she wink wink. Okay. Yeah. I get you.
If you want, now I can read news for you. And on to the political scene, the federal government of Nigeria.
Wow, nice one. Mo-
Flex
Mo-
on us. It's okay. So
let's say
my
BBC.
period, the Galaxy, Channels TV,
In a way.
WAP TV, no waste now. Why
We'll
they do like
just
this?
we'll just cut this.
do you
part. We'll
get?
send out to BBC.
No, your head is just.
You know. I
I'm
got you.
overwhelmed by your correctness. Okay,
but that's a lie, no. Quotable quote.
overwhelmed by my
I feel you.
words on marble. Continue.
Yeah. So I. What did I?
Oh, that's so real.
I got carried away. I'm sorry, guys.
We're talking about the
Yeah,
journey,
yeah.
HND,
So,
all of that.
I did the whole going for. So people were going to where they will make money and all of that, and wanted to be a medical doctor. But then there was a time that I think in senior secondary school, I spent a lot of time in hospitals. And I was like,
As a patient.
as a patient too.
Oh,
I was like, I'm sorry, I'm
This
not
not
doing
for
this.
me.
I think it was like every month, and I wasn't like, I didn't have like sickle cell and all of that, but I was spending at least every month. I was going to the hospital at least once, and so the smell of the hospital, blood and everything. I don't have fear of blood, but somehow I just, this is not it. Then I went and watched a series, and I was like,
Which series do you remember?
So 2 of them actually. The first was Smallville. So there was this AI surveillance system that one of the characters built, and I was like, go nice to build this
I
guy
too
too,
can
you
do
know.
this.
And at least I felt okay, even if I wouldn't do it, at least it'd be nice to be able to provide people with the resources they need to do it. So
Very
now,
altruistic.
I know. I now told my mom I wanted to go and study computer science. My mom said, "Lie,
Ew.
not happening. I'm not going to do
Said
that."
not engineer, not doctor.
She was
not
like,
lawyer.
no. I mean, she
Said
had already
computer
imagined
science.
her daughter as this doctor and all of that. And sometimes, till date, I think even sometime when I went home in December, I sort of like joked about it. I was like, how far? Should I go and do medicine? No. Let's not do that. So, I decided I was going to study computer science or information technology. That was it. So, applied to universities. Universities didn't take me.
Ew.
Despite the fact that I was bagging first position from primary school till secondary school, history, but still they were like,
Another award collector.
Nothing for
from
you.
her secondary school days.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to establish common threads.
Some of us don't need to talk about it, you know. It's literally there. We were head girl. We just keep it on the road. Some of us don't talk.
If you shout too much,
Stop.
if you raise shoulder
That's
too much,
why.
it's
It's alright,
God.
it's
Fellow
alright.
head
You
girl.
know,
When you
just
head
allow
girl.
you to take some.
You know what?
you know,
Very
it's
funny,
alright.
but I was not a prefect. My school actually ran a democracy.
oh, wow,
Yeah, so
You-
you voted,
nice.
and I
Bougie
just
school.
They voted
I,
me in.
I wasn't that
Nice.
popular. It's not like I wasn't popular. I just wasn't popular as who you would want to be.
Yeah.
Or it's just
Head
like
girl.
I was. I mean, I still come off like that, like very serious. Maybe people listening to this podcast may not think that, but if you see me as separate from my personality, you think I'm such a strong, like
Serious, babe.
So I don't think people were comfortable with that, and I
Yeah.
really wasn't popular in that sense.
Interesting.
But for
Interesting.
other things, yeah, sure.
Well, my school ran a
So I
whole
didn't win.
system of
Also, you ran.
So no, I was coerced
you-
into running
Yeah.
actually.
Okay.
Not coerced, but I was convinced, like, because when I didn't pick up the form, people were like, no, why not? Some students were, and then
Yeah.
some teachers were like, you are a good fit, you should run.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
If
I
you
ran.
people say
My
so.
sister,
She
I
didn't
don't
even want
I think I dissociated from the number of votes I got because I do remember. I just know that I didn't know what I said. That checks out.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
My school ran a system where you have to be like amongst the first 5 to be even considered. Like first position, you just know
Oh.
that's head girl and head boy and all that.
Oh.
So did the whole. So I didn't get into school like a university. So I ended up attending like a polytechnic, which I think is one of like the best things that happened to me because during that 4 months IT, I decided to do my internship in the school's digital center, and there I met like really amazing people. So one of like an entire community of people who were already
In
maybe
tech.
in tech
Yeah.
or
What year are we
introduced.
talking about right now?
So this is 2014. Yeah, 2014.
early,
Like they had a lot of them were support. Like they were already like computer science, doing some gigs on Fiverr. Also, at the time, that was when GDG was sort of like Google Developers Group was sort
Just
of
starting
Yeah.
just
out.
started out. They had set up like that year was like their first year of setting up program in Bauchi then, and attended the 4 months IT. I think we were like about 40 of us actually decided to do IT in school, but somehow we decided that okay, a lot of people, so they would have these extracurricular activities after school, after the internship. A lot of people were not showing up for it except like myself and one other guy, Lawrence. So we would always come back. So I was the only girl who was consistent. And you know the more you show up, the more people see you and
Yeah.
then give you resources. So I think they gave me more resources, access to Google tools, Google developer tools and all that. I was like, Then I think the whole goal was, okay, try to see if you can get more women to join. And it was like volunteering started. So this was late 2014, early 2015. Volunteered, built a women community. That was when women tech makers first came up. And women tech makers' goal is to increase visibility, community, and access to resources for women in tech.
Yeah.
This was 2015. So at the time, there weren't a lot of women in tech. Not like now, thank God.
So we love it.
we love it. We love it. So did the whole community building for about a year to building communities, managing people. Managing people, bringing in as many people to attend events, providing resources, training programs, and all that, and then just supporting the community in a way. And within that time, that was when so we attend this. You come to Lagos or another country for summits. So Google will bring in all of the community leaders in different places for like a 1 year, like an annual summit where everybody comes excited. Oh, what are we doing? What have we been doing the past 1 year? What are we going to be doing the next year? Upskill even the leaders and all that. And through all of those processes, I met someone. We were just randomly walking from. It was in Lagos. I think that was like my first time in Lagos.
From where?
From Bauchi.
Oh, okay.
So, no, actually it wasn't. But that was like my first time coming to Lagos for work in a way related stuff. Yeah. First time would be maybe like much earlier. So we came, did the whole summit, met someone. I think we were working from, this was in Ikeja. We were working from Chevenik restaurant to the hotel we're staying. I can't remember the name of the hotel. But we walked, some people took bus. We were just like talking, I and the guy, Solomon, at the time he was working either at Google or Andela, I can't remember. And he was justing me about, all of the stuff he's building, what Andela is doing. They just ran their first Andela learning community, what and what. And me too, I was just saying, this is what I'm doing in Bauchi and all of that. And then he was like, they're actually trying to like get someone to set up or manage the community in the Northeast. Would I be open to it? I was like, yeah, sure. No problem. Just by having conversation and all of that. So he recommended me, I think the following week, by Monday, Tuesday, had the interview. And I think we only had one interview, and then they were like, sure, no problem, we'll send you your offer.
We're expecting the long. Have you ever interviewed before then?
I think that was my first time interviewing.
I wanted to know if it was from like past experiences where you were.
Like, and it's crazy how with all of the roles that I filled till date, I've only had like one interview.
That was that first one.
See, that first one, and every role, like I would just have one interview and then one interview and offer comes in. Grace.
It's giving star girl for
it's
real.
Giving grace.
Love it.
So did that and then got the offer.
Joanna is like, not
You
me,
know what?
but okay.
It explains why I was not a girl.
Yeah, so just to cut the whole long story short, like did that for about 2 years and a half, managing communities in Kenya, Nigeria, Northeast Nigeria, Tanzania, and like multiple projects. There was Google, Grow with Google project. There was also Facebook Developer Circle project. And then after that, I think, and I went on NYSC. So during all of this, I was in school, right?
When did the Andela one happen?
It happened, I think in between IT, that was like 20...
Because I remember you've mentioned the Andela and the
so I think it was like late 2017.
It was money at the time.
It was money. It was like 50K. Yeah. But it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. So 50K, and then they increased after a while. It was like 2020. No, not 2015. It was 2017, 2018. Yeah, 2017, 2018. Did that for some time, and then I think about 2 years and a half or so. Then I graduated. And at the time, I was like, okay, time to do something new. What do we do? But interestingly, through all of that, I don't know, you know how they tell you, while you're building your career, showcase your work and all of that. I don't know where I picked that up from. Maybe it was being in the tech ecosystem and everybody talking about their work, because I was always talking about, the events we were hosting, the projects, people came for this event, this was what happened on LinkedIn and all of that. So one day I was like, okay, I want something new. And then I came on Twitter and tweeted that, I have like about 2 years experience for projects and program management. I'm looking for new roles and all of that. And then someone, I think the recruiter from Decagon now reached out. I was in camp at the time, and this was just before COVID hit. And had the one interview, and then she was like, okay. It was even more like a quick call, and then she was like, would I be open to talking to their CEO like right now? I was like, sure. I had a conversation with the CEO. They were like, okay, tomorrow let's talk offer and all of that.
So this was in camp.
It was in camp. And then interestingly, I didn't even do full camp because we were COVID.
Yeah,
babies,
you people that enjoyed money and just stayed at home.
See, it was one of the best things. Like I woke up that day and I was like, I want to go and request for exit. I want to leave this camp. I'm done. And then that was the day they came, and then they were like, oh yeah,
What
by
camp
the
did
way,
you come for?
Obubra, Cross
Oh,
River.
me and you!
That's so cool.
That's so cool. That was a stupid camp, but you know,
Guy.
it's cool that we went there. Yeah.
It was no. It was so hot.
Please,
Jesus.
Camaraderie.
So yes.
Okay. Oh, you know what? No problem. You will meet me in front. So we were still okay.
Yeah, so did
Carry
all
on.
of that, and then had the role, and then I think at the time companies were going remote, so I resumed from home. Actually, still working within that NYC time. Then I now moved to Lagos, 2021, and then I think within that time I had done some really amazing projects at Decagon, placing engineers, designing curriculum for workplace preparation, and then I think I was still advocating, pushing my work out there. Talked about a particular project called Hire Week that I ran. And then at the time, it was TalentQL. So TalentQL, for people who don't know, TalentQL bettered AltSchool.
Yeah.
Right. So TalentQL was running for maybe like about 3 to 4 months. They were looking for a program manager to manage a pipeline program.
Sorry, I'm in the. Okay, let me just keep quiet.
What?
I want to say I'm in the know because do you remember the set of
I know.
oh my god, what was it your content partners for TalentQL that
Yeah,
we
it
did?
was
Let us
boxing
in on the
our
joke.
Mentors, yeah.
businesses.
Let us in. Let us in.
So what happened is this, right? We did the whole pipeline. The way
Was a
pipeline
program.
works is you have engineers, and then you are providing mentorship. So you are identifying mentors who are like senior software engineers at companies like Spotify, Amazon, Google, like
Pairing
really
them.
good people, and then
yeah.
pairing them with these mid-level engineers to support them over a 6-month program through mentorship and projects to become senior engineers. And the goal is, okay, they should get a new job and all of that. So these mentors are all over the world.
Okay.
And so we wanted to sort of like set up, even for the engineers, we wanted to like give them like gift boxes, welcome boxes, and all onboarding boxes, and even for the mentors like appreciation boxes. And so we needed like a gift box, something, and that was how Joe and I went and started the company.
Don't worry.
I see.
Don't worry.
I see.
It was such a great experience.
Yeah, it
we
was great.
suffered, but it was good.
Oh my god. Did we make any money?
We did actually, not a lot of money. Like it was very
barely
little.
anything, but yeah, it was nice because I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, TalentQL was I think it was the first official client.
Yes,
First
actually,
official client.
yeah,
So I was
the
like,
official.
what a big
it
deal.
was
People
so
don't
great.
go back.
This girl, okay, don't worry about it.
Don't expose me in this
No,
way.
Okay.
I don't even know how we're still in fact, because how can your co-founder abandon you?
And your pool might have been.
So what
She
happened was
abandoned
I
you in the
left.
thick of things.
So
No, but
you know, because it's a very hands-on thing, and then
Yeah.
because of work, I had to move to Rwanda.
Oh, sorry, I get it. Sorry.
That was what happened.
Yeah, but you know the funny
What
thing,
do you want her to do?
she did not tell me she did not manage her stakeholder well.
And we are getting to stakeholder management very
Nice
soon.
one.
She did not tell me that this is what I'm going through. I don't think I allowed to tell
I
her
think
that.
I didn't want
wait,
to disappoint
Wait,
her.
allow her to answer that. Madam, are you in this business with me or am I all alone? Let me know now.
Like
She
I didn't
just
want
said,
to disappoint
Tell me the
to be
her.
honest, I don't think I can do it again.
I feel you.
Like I tried to manage the whole, I'm there, but I wasn't really present.
Yeah, she wasn't.
Right, like I wasn't
I was not like,
present
why am I
physically, I
running
wasn't
this by
present
you if,
mentally.
you know, you're not able to
Yeah.
be. But so that
Yeah.
ended. But then also, I continue, Sha.
Yeah.
If people want to do gift box, corporate clients.
Really low.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like I do a lot. What do you do for? I do all.
A lot.
All.
Everything.
So that's how you got
yeah,
into
that was
talent.
how like I got into TalentQL.
Yeah.
And then from TalentQL we started AltSchool, and then AltSchool has grown into what it is right now.
Yeah, our
Exciting
sponsors.
stuff.
Shout out to you people.
Shout out.
If you can't see me, I'm winking, and if you didn't come out like a wink, sorry to all involved. But yeah, we're going to. She delved into that stakeholder management, and that's really like why we're here today, because a lot of what we are doing is a lot of managing, a lot of managing here and there.
Yes, especially because when you work in programs,
you
have different tiers of stakeholders. You have your own, you have your partners as stakeholders. You then also have your students as stakeholders, or the beneficiaries of the program you're running. So
how do you identify? Let's start from the beginning. How do you identify who your stakeholders are, and like define what is the goal for them? Like what is success for them? How do you start with that?
I think first off, you want to be sure on what the whole goal of the project is, right? Like, okay, what are we doing? If we are doing this, and as a project or program manager, your whole goal is to be able to maximize access to benefits for each of the stakeholders, right? So is that, okay, this is stakeholder 1, stakeholder 2, stakeholder 3. How can I give stakeholder 1 everything they need to ensure that this project is a success? How can I give stakeholder 2 everything they need? At some point, you now have to start doing prioritization and then negotiating. This stakeholder, if I give you everything, this person will go enjoy. If I give this one everything, this person would feel like they're not getting all of the support they need. So is that you want to first, okay, what is the benefit I'm providing to this person? So it's just like you want to buy a product, or you are building a product, and you are like, okay, I'm building this product for this person. But then if I'm building this product for this person, how do I ensure that they are getting the most value out of it? And then I am also getting, because we're not here to, we're not already an NGO. So
exactly. It's not a charity.
It's not charity. So I'm trying to get something out of this, right? Even with NGOs, like, because they also have stakeholder, they're trying to get some form of benefit. Right? It's just that it's not monetary or something, but they're trying to get some form of benefit. So once you are able to sort of clearly define who are the people who are going to be involved in this project, what benefits you are giving them, and then leaving room for new stakeholders might pop up, right? Because once you say, I've identified all of my stakeholders, you are now confining your project to just a fixed state, and you don't want to do that. But you don't want to give too much buffer that things fall through the cracks, right? So is that, okay, these are the people I'm working with, this is how much I am giving them, this is how much I'm getting from them, and then these are the ways that I want to ensure that everybody gets the value they need.
So like, also, how do you identify their importance? Like, this one is the highest stakeholder, this one, 2 weeks check-in, that's fine.
I would say there are people who, if you don't check in with, things might fall through the cracks. Okay. So you would have them like, okay, these are high priority stakeholders. But then there's also a part of, you want to give room for prioritization might shift.
Okay,
right.
So it's not
there are
fixed,
some people that within the first initial planning phase of the project, these are my priority stakeholders. And then once we've gotten into the actual execution of the project, I don't really have to stress about these people. It's just like, okay, like in let me use AltSchool as a reference.
Feel free.
At the beginning, we have this phase where we are working with, let's say, we're trying to identify who are going to be our content partners, who are going to support us with distribution of content, who are going to support us with marketing and all of those things. In that stage, yes, these are our priority stakeholders. Our students, we love you, but right now you are not that important. We're trying to prepare things for you, right? And then once we are done with the creating of the content, everything is out of the studio, is on the learning management system. Now is our student. Let's focus on you. How can we keep track, ensure that you are on track? How are we ensuring that you are getting support from external parties? How are we ensuring that if you are falling behind, who is supporting you? These people who are checking in with you, like, with help with data, right? Because you need to have tools. There are times that, let me throw a small shade at Joe right now. Joe forgets to check in on me.
Oh, yeah.
She's literally airing her grievance.
Yes. So, like, in times like this,
I'm sorry, right outside the studio, Rachel accused me. She said, you've been unavoidably absent for a few days. Mind you, this woman neither called me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. She sent me a text knowing I was filming on Thursday and sent me a text on Thursday. And I was like, girl, what's happening? What do you mean unavoidably absent?
I'm not going to expose both of us here, so let's just leave it there.
Giving couples DNA.
I'm not going to
But
expose us, so
fine.
let's leave it there. So, like, in times like that, you want to sometimes maybe add
Manage
like
my
a
stakeholder.
manage your stakeholder by setting reminders, like using Google Calendar as often as you can, right? Like, okay, check in on this person on this day and all of that. Or sometimes you have tools that automatically does that for you, right? To ensure that, because even as a stakeholder manager, you forget. You forget that some people are important, and you'll be like, I don't forget this person. So times like that, so at least we use like tools and all of that to specify that, okay, within this time I'm prioritizing you. And then after I've moved on, we've now gotten to graduation, then okay, ensuring that our alumni are moving into next phase of their career, while handing them over to the career services team, who are going to be supporting them with getting internships. Now your major stakeholders are hiring partners. You get. But then at the beginning of the project, you had already identified that all of these people are my stakeholders. But then you are placing their prioritization based on phases of the project.
So you must be able to phase.
So, if you're like some of us who want to build a career in tech but don't want to code because even the thought of it just stresses you out, I have some great news for you.
There's a place for you in tech.
Of course.
As a matter of fact, there are a long list of career paths in the tech space that do not require you to code at all.
And contrary to what some people think, these no-code jobs also pay really, really good money. All you have to do is learn the skills you need to get started.
And a good place to learn these skills is AltSchool Africa. You can learn no-code skills like product design, product marketing, product management at the School of Products.
Classes are fully virtual, so you can learn from anywhere. Tuition is really affordable. There's an incredible community of learners like you, and you also earn a diploma at the end of the program.
That's right. You can get more information about available programs and how to apply at altschoolafrica.com.
All right. So, we've been talking about, stakeholder management within the context of the work that you do, which is like, okay, you do a lot of programs, you do a lot of projects. What I'm understanding is your work is very project based, right? And it's, interfacing with a lot of people at different times, different phases. Now, I want to literally just take the lessons from that and then apply it to just the context of, so for example, I may be a software engineer and I'm not doing, or it could also do project-based work, right? Everybody can, but I'm a software engineer. I'm not really handling major programs. I have a lot of external stakeholders, right? But I still have stakeholders. Let's think about it in the context of my own career now, and how I am showing up at work, right? How do you manage that? What does stakeholder management look like for you? Let's start from this. What have been some hurdles you have faced, and how have you surmounted them, through your career?
Hurdles, then plenty.
So where do we begin?
Tell us
Where
about
do we
it. Tell
begin?
us about it.
Where
Thank
do
you
we
very
be?
much for
Where
that
do I
question.
begin? Where do I begin? There are some traumas. Yes. Please, no traumas. But I would say in my career, I have had to. One thing that I've been very intentional about is building relationships with people. Like, I am not the best at building relationships, but then I know she will not believe it because I've been intentional about building my relationship with.
But it shows that there's something there, Shao, in case you won't take it, Joanna.
I've been intentional. So I will find this very small circle of people and just be intentional about them. But this guy, how they'll be like, oh, go out, network and all of that.
Oh yeah, no, okay, I agree with that one.
I'm not great
Like
at
every time there's a conference, Rachel, are you going? I want to sleep, man.
She said indoors is better.
indoors is better, my dear.
I feel you sometimes.
So I think
Because this is the most outdoor person I know in my life.
Joanna.
There was one time I said, are you going to be at our side anytime this week. She said, "You just inform me what is happening. I will avail myself."
Wow.
Time and place.
Wow.
That was, she said,
I said I prioritize this, babe. You know, it doesn't matter. I'll clear my schedule for you, but it means
See
I'm
you
outside
prioritizing
every
it.
time.
Oh,
You
God.
see?
So what I'm hearing is that you
Women are
guys
not good people.
So what I'm hearing is that you guys have been actively toasting me.
Wow, how did we get here?
That I'm being toasted, guys. Hot cake.
Anyway, bask in it. Today
Yeah.
we are set.
Yeah, it's okay,
We'll
it's
say
okay.
it again tomorrow.
Yeah, so I think for the most part I've tried to be intentional about building relationship, because I know that you need people to get things done. You need people to go far. The rooms that you're going to be in, like the rooms where conversations are being had about you are not there.
Yeah.
Right? So the idea is, how do I work with people? How do I ensure that I'm showing up for these people? I think earlier I used to isolate myself, right? Okay, let me use an example. It's crazy. When we first built this room, right, it was meant to be a studio, right? But before we started setting up studios and everything and all of that, it was an office. And interestingly, I would always sit at the end there. And when I come in to the office, I would just come in. I would just walk in. Straight to the end. I was not talking to anybody. Then I was a program manager. Right? I wasn't talking to anybody. Nothing concerned me. And then, but then the good thing is, how I managed myself well is that I would always have conversations with people at the end of every year. People that I feel in one way or the other impact my career or impact the work I do. So is that at the end of the year, I would have, sometimes I would create a form. Sometimes I would sort of like just say, hey, are you free for like 15, 20 minutes? Let's have a quick chat. And then I would sort of like have conversation. Okay, how well do you think I did this year? How well do you think I communicated? How well do you think I did X, Y, Z and all of that? They would give me feedback, right? And then I think at the end of the day, I'll be like, okay, any other feedback? And then there was this particular person. She was head of operations for TalentQL at the time, Rita. Rita and I had this chat. This was December 2021. And I was like, oh, what do you think? And she was like, honestly, with the way I'm going, she sees me like moving into like leading more people and all of that. And even for the sake of my role, I need to be more involved with people. Even if I need to actively build that
muscle.
right? And so the following year, resuming to work in January, I told myself, okay, we're going to build this muscle, right? So what I would do is, when I come into the office, I won't come to my seat is the last place I go to. I would go round the office and say hello to everybody. How are you doing? How was your weekend? What did you do over the weekend? This project that we're working with last week, what other? Like, try to sort of like connect to them on a different level, right? Do that with everyone. And then when I'll now come back and sit, this will take close to an hour sometimes. But then it was stressful at first, but I kept doing that. I'll come sit down. And right now, it's so easy. Like, if I don't do it, I feel like, no, something's wrong. Like, I've not connected with people. And then when I'm leaving, I will just, maybe not everybody, but I'll just be like, hey, okay, I'm leaving. Have a great, enjoy the rest of your week and all of that. Leave. Now, the thing is, how I show up for people that has impacted my career. Some of the things that people will tell you is, Rachel is sometimes intentional. Maybe not sometimes. Rachel is quite intentional. Is that?
Allow now.
Rachel is intentional. So what I would do is, because of those little conversations I have with people every morning, maybe not every morning, like the mornings that so we come to the office like twice. So, but that twice, I would always do that. So those conversations that I have, when we are talking about projects, I would always know how to connect your strengths to some of the projects you've worked on, some of the activities you've done on the weekend, to these new projects that we're going to be working on. Where can I highlight your strengths here? What is a weakness for you, and who can I pair you up with
To balance
to
it out.
support you, right? So I would do that. And then, like, one of my major skills is, like, I have strong organizational skills, like bringing people together to get things done. Now,
Godwin.
I'm an OG in that.
Godwin.
So
That's actually anyway.
So I would do
I
that.
have a few bones to pick with you.
please. No bone picking.
But
We've done
Ojoro
enough of
cancel
that.
because you said you have your own.
So I would do that, and with time, when I have a project coming up, I know who to work with. Like, the idea is I want to always have the right people on my team, while also giving room for people that can grow through this experience. So sometimes you could have everybody is the right person. It's just that they may not have all of the right skills at this time. So the question is, if you look at, based on conversations you've had with them with their trajectory for their career, how can you get them to come in at the spot where you feel they need this experience, right? So sometimes people will be like, Rachel, I'm not sure this, and I'll be like, don't worry. And with time, they'll be like, oh yeah, I see it, right? So how has that helped me in managing stakeholders is ensuring that the right people are at the right place at the right time, right? And then with time, ensuring that who is going to be perfect for this project and how can I support them the best way possible. So I'm a strong believer of, if you give people everything, or maybe at least 80% of what they need to get things done, they will get it done, and then whatever you need them to do, they will show up for you, right? So for me, I have been more invest in relationships, invest in people, get them to do what they need to do, and when you need them to be stakeholders for whatever project, they'll show up for you 100%. So I show up for people 100%, and then I expect actually. And if people don't show up, I can get worried, but I will always bring it up, like, how far? You didn't show up in the way I wanted and all of that, and they'll be like, oh, I didn't think of it that way, and then we'll just move, like, okay, we'll move on. But it will bother me if you don't. It will bother me if you don't, because I expect in a way, which is not a great thing, but then in business, sometimes you see, business is transactional, right? Maybe in relationships, like personal relationship is not supposed to be that way, but in business, I have expectations, right? And it's expected that, okay, if we are all working towards this, then show up, right? So ensuring that I have the right people, managing my time and their own time and resources and even their strengths better are some of the ways that I know that, okay, in my career, I have been able to do quite well. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I do have an addendum to that, but just let's just keep it in mind. So there's managing upwards and downwards. There's also managing across as well. I know so far what I'm hearing, and you can correct my notion, what I'm hearing is a lot of when people report to you, or maybe either across or downwards is what I'm hearing. So there's also the angle of upwards, but we can touch on that, Sha.
So for upwards, I think with upwards is that I try to, with a lot of my bosses, I've had like great relationships with them, right? So is that I try to build a personal relationship outside work, right? But then even for the sake of building careers, you want to be very
okay. We're a family here.
So with building your career, you want to be very intentional about managing upwards. Like the most important thing, yes, you want to manage downwards, you want to manage side, like vertically, but that upward management is the most important thing, because your manager needs to be able to count on you. Your manager needs to be able to say that, no, this person, if I give Joe this, she'll be fine, and all of that. If I give Joe this, she'll be all right. Like, it's that you want to also let your manager know other things you are doing outside work. Like other things, like you're volunteering for this. Oh yeah, over the weekend you did this. Just to sort of like plant. It may not be even planting ideas in there, but in a way it's planting ideas in there. Like that if something like this comes up in the future, I'm your person.
I'm capable.
Like I'm your person for that.
I like that too. Jot things down, guys.
Like you try to sort of like get them. Even sometimes it's even with their family, right? There was something I picked up in school. This was early this year. So I did this Power to Lead project in school, and they'll give you this career coach or an executive coach. And she talked about how she used to be a photographer before she started like executive work, and it's still like a hobby for her. And then she learned that, it was like her boss, and then his daughter's birthday and all of that was coming up. And she was like, oh, can I come and do photography for you guys? Like, now this is a cost that she's taking off. But then he was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And during that conversation, she brought up, like, during that whole event, she took really amazing pictures and all of that, passed it on. later it wasn't that, oh, she was now, because she now became like the
Family
photographer.
Yeah.
No.
It rarely
But
happens like that.
Yeah, but then what happens is that the next time she needed something, it may not even be that I have expectations, but you sort
It's
of,
just easier.
in a way, made this person fond of you,
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
There's
Is
an
that,
emotional
yes, there's a
attachment
bit of
and
an emotional.
investment.
Yes,
Yeah.
they would always show up for you because they will also have very high expectations for you, because the person, your manager that is close to you, would have even higher expectations
Oh,
for
than
you
anybody else.
than
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yes.
So the idea is you are doing all of this external work, then internally the actual work you have to do it. You have to do it well, because if they have expectations and you don't meet it, you disappoint them more than other people that did not manage up.
Yeah.
So managing up is about ensuring that you are giving the best to your manager, both personally and also outside work. Both
Professionally
professionally
outside
and
work.
personally, right? And then just ensuring that there's also boundaries. You have to maintain boundaries, right? You don't know your limits, know where you cannot extend, like know what to not do, because at some point it can be a problem.
Can you
right?
give some examples of that?
Examples would be, well, I don't know. I would say, there are times where,
Maybe for you, just
okay,
some
for me,
personal
okay,
boundaries.
personal boundaries is there are times that I know not to call my manager,
Okay.
right? My manager can call me at times where, okay, maybe after work hours, like, hey, we need this, and I'm like, sure, no problem. But once, like, you can't call your manager outside work hours unless you text and be like, hey, this is happening, I need to do this, and be like, okay, sure, no problem. But if they don't do that, right? Like, don't try to like overstep, because they also have family, personal time, and
Even
all
if they
that,
don't have
right?
family.
Even if they don't have family, right? Like, you want to be able to allow them that whole work-life balance that you also want, right? Then there's also the part of you are guys outside work doesn't mean you are guys at work.
Yeah.
Like,
So
those
you
are
expect-
two
yes.
different things. So you need to be able to separate that relationship, right? You can't be like, no, I expected more from you. No. This
Or
is
like
business.
talking to them in a
Yeah,
funny
in-
way
in-
when
like,
there's a
when
meeting
other
going
people,
on and there are
no.
other people. It's like,
You don't
sorry.
do that. Like,
Yeah.
let's know what we're doing here.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
we're doing here. So I think those are like major boundaries. Then another would be, okay, you want to keep your emotions in check. Because we are humans and our emotions can sometimes find a way to sort of like
Get the best of
seep
us.
into
Yeah.
our work and all of that, and we could get emotional. So for me, whenever I know that I'm going to have a conversation with my manager and I could get emotional, I sometimes just be like, sorry, can we have this conversation another day? Because I know that I don't want to come
I'm
off
not in that
as
place.
I'm not in that
Entitled. Oh, okay.
headspace, right? You're not in that headspace. You don't want to come off as entitled.
Yeah.
You don't want to come off as you are asking for too much.
Yeah.
Even me, sometimes I access, okay, Rachel, if you are a manager, would this be too much?
For
Or
someone
would-
to say to
for
you.
someone to say to you, if it's going to be too much, then don't say it, right? Just what you are not able to manage. What don't put out there, right? But then there are people who will be like, no, I'm a fun person, I'm a nice person, I'm able to manage this, but still find a way to not overdo it, basically.
Fair enough.
I like
Real. Okay, so we're going to go into, a segment. You want to help some people, just
Okay.
be kind and generous, offer some help. Right? So this person this person wrote in, right, asking about stakeholder management, right? So it says, hi, my name is Akinye. I'm a 26-year-old product manager in Nairobi, Kenya. And I recently leveled up to a role where I have to juggle a bunch of stakeholders from different departments and external partners. Honestly, it's kind of stressing me out. I'm struggling to keep everyone's priorities straight. And keeping our project on track. The worst part is handling feedback. It's always so conflicting, and I end up feeling like I can't please everyone. Any tips on how to manage feedback without losing my mind, and how do I balance everyone's priorities while still keeping trust and communication solid?
Okay. I would say, first of all, managing priorities of stakeholders is knowing what to say no and maybe to. especially as a product manager, is that everybody will come and tell you, oh, this is a great feature to add, this is a great feature to add, this is that, this is best, and all of that. Is that, see, what are we trying to do? Are we, these projects or these products that we're building, what is important to our main stakeholders, the users, first? If these our main stakeholders are saying that, oh yeah, this is just perfect, then what is a nice to have, what is a must have, right? At least as a product manager, you already have those as your basics, right? Something else would be, like I said, always have a buffer, right? Okay, no for this, maybe later, right? Maybe later if something more important doesn't come up, because sometimes you could say maybe to something and then later something more important, and then someone will be like, but you said, like, bro, so try to have that more like a
Conditional,
suffix, right, that says that, bro, this something else, my management might tell us that we need to do this, and yours who that have said, oh, I was going to prioritize in the next quarter, I may not be able to prioritize it in the next quarter, I will prioritize it in the maybe second or third quarter after this. So being able to be very clear in your communication around that. Then with feedback, the truth is there are times that we get feedback that I think there are times I've received a lot of those feedback. Like, some are great feedback, and you don't always want to hear that you are not doing so well, right? But then the truth is, in those moments, you realize parts of yourself that you don't see, that other people see. And the only reason why someone would give you feedback is because they feel you can do so much better.
Yeah.
Like, that in itself makes me to sort of remove myself from being overly emotional about it, right? It may hurt in this moment. I'll be like,
you do usually hurt, actually.
It hurts.
It do hurt.
But then I'll be like, okay, thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. And then sometimes you have to ask follow-up questions. And then sometimes there are some feedbacks that are not true.
Yes.
It could just be this person seeing you from a particular lens, like rose-colored lens that
and they don't have enough context
they don't
about
have enough
you.
context about you. They don't have enough context about other stakeholders you are managing and how it affects whatever you did affected other people. So that's in a way sort of like those additional context that you can give and be like, okay, see, I get that you see it this way, but this is what happened, this is how I see it, but I see it from your point of view. At least one thing that I'm very intentional about is I see how you think about this, right? But I don't entirely agree.
It's
that
not,
this is what it is.
you mustn't agree.
Yes, right. I don't entirely agree. And for those that agree, I'll be like, you know what? I just didn't know, right? I didn't know, but thank you for offering this feedback. I will try to see what I can do to improve on this. Are there resources you think that would help me to do better?
That's a great way to,
like, are there resources? Because if someone has noticed this, it's because they are, in a way, it's for you in this moment is a weakness.
Yes.
But for them is a strength.
moved
So
past
if they are,
it,
if it's a strength for them, that means they have in some way mastered it and they know how they got there. Maybe for some people they are naturally maybe inclined in that, but then there are people who built it up. So is that are there resources? Even if they don't have resources, they will go and look for it. Because now you say
gave you feedback.
Now you say I get problems. So in a way, I would also go and look for resources. But then I know that you also, in a way, because you wanted me to improve on this,
and I've suggested that I'm down to work on it.
So they would share resources. That's in a way that helps. I think the other part is don't always see feedback as a reflection of your self-worth or self-esteem, right? Because sometimes we see it as a reflection of our self-worth, and then it affects our self-esteem. Like, I'm such a terrible person and all of that. I don't know how to do this and all that. And that could keep you stuck in a place. Like, just try to move out of it. See it as this is an opportunity to grow, and growth is painful. They say they call it growing pains and all of that. Growth is painful, so just take it as this is one more thing I need to learn to help me get better to the next phase of my career, and that's it. There was a last question.
Okay, so let me how do I balance everyone's priority while keeping trust and communication solid?
I think I actually addressed that, which was the whole knowing what to say, yes, no, and maybe with a suffix of.
Yeah, I think you answered both questions for this person.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the trust angle. I know that a huge part of trust between, even in romantic context, family context, is just actually.
You just wanted to put the romance there. Well, okay, continue.
Don't worry, we trust you.
My lord.
We trust trust you. We trust
I didn't mean I know you now. Honestly, I would have given you a very dirty slap.
This, well, okay, she's not the
Oh, how I wish I brought my gun.
because, but don't worry, it's okay.
Now you've allowed me to derail. No, but seriously, I was asking
Trust.
about trust. Yes, and I was saying that I think a really good place or a really good way that we know that trust is built is when people, either one or even both, just do the thing,
Yeah.
or do the thing they have said they will do, even without saying it.
Yeah.
But what other ways can you build trust within a professional, like, office context between, let's say, the people like on your team that are your peers, the people that are reporting to you, as well as your manager? What other ways can you build trust that they'll just be like, in fact, even if something negative has happened,
Yeah.
and it truly did happen, they'll say, wait first, let me ask her what happened
Yeah.
before I draw my conclusion, because this is very out of character for this person.
So you've already mentioned the whole doing what is expected of you, doing what you said you were going to do. I think another way of building trust would be going above and beyond. Right. Like, is that okay? So this is you'll be like, okay, yeah, we're supposed to do this. Let's say it's going to cost $100,000 and it's going to take us 6 weeks to run it. And you are able to do it with, let's say, $80,000. And maybe even maintain the 6 weeks, or sometimes less time. But then, do you know that if you do it within $80,000, and then next time you tell them, Omo, last time we did $80,000, this time it will take $120,000, but we will do it in 4 weeks. It costs more money, less time. Before, it costs less money, the same time, right? And that time you could even tell them that, see, this project is going to cost more and more time.
Yes.
But because of that first
Yeah.
above and beyond that you did, it's going to be okay. Yeah, the person did it and they did it well. It's this thing. Then there's also the part of actually doing it well.
Yeah.
Right? Now, this is where perfectionists will come and tell you that I have to do it well and all of that. Do it well within the time stated, please.
You have a grouse with that, like you said that so straight to the camera, like
Do it well within the time stated. Not saying that I want to do it well, and because I also fall within that whole category of trying to do it well, but then you are extending time. But then just do it well within the time stated. The other part is, if you committed to something, show up.
Yeah.
Don't fail. The moment you fail once, it may be forgiven. You fail twice, it won't be forgiven.
But what about, so I feel like in an environment where there's grace available, sometimes failing is a part of the process.
Yeah.
But I think people don't know how to communicate a failure
Yes.
or an impending failure.
Yes.
And I think learning the skill of doing that, because I
Yeah.
know I've struggled with that
Yeah.
at different points in my
Yeah.
life, and even now, of course,
Why
this,
do you think I could not tell you that? I'm sorry, I would have
that one
do
saved
this.
day. Look at my business partner, my erstwhile business partner.
Like, I think the whole thing about failure is we don't always want to disappoint people who have placed their trust in us in the first place. But then there's also the part of you don't want to fail at the same thing twice.
Oh yeah, no, that's
So like for
valid.
us at AltSchool, we have this culture of it's okay to fail, but don't, or it's okay to make mistakes, but don't make the same mistake twice. If you make it twice, then the question, that means you didn't learn from the first time. Right. So the culture of communicating that this thing is going to fail, at least that one, me, I know I'm quite good at. If I feel like we said this thing is going to take 3 months and it's 2 months, so don't wait till it's that 3
Yes,
months.
exactly. Before you
That's
communicate,
don't do that, because it's just like, why are you waiting till this 9 minutes?
because we could have salvaged the remaining resources. We could have
Yes.
salvaged
So-
our time.
Being able to communicate like ahead of time that, see, I am looking at this thing and it's going to take some time for us to do it. We might need, but when you are coming to even communicate it, have a solution.
Yes.
Don't show up and then
yes,
leave it on
really.
their table like, it's going to fail. Figure it out. No,
Yeah.
don't do that. So you come, you be like, this thing is going to take, I know we said it was going to take 3 months, but it's going to take 4 months and a half. But then within this extra 1 month, within 1.5 months, this is what we are able to do. And maybe in that moment, try to see if you can add something extra, but don't say it in that time, right? Because they'll be like, why are you trying to add extra when you've not even done what you're going to do? So is that within this 6 weeks, we're going to do X, Y, Z. We're going to ensure that these people get this done. But to manage the other stakeholders that affected their expectation, we're going to maybe host webinars, info sessions. We're going to do this to sort of like keep people engaged, so we don't just keep people stuck.
Yes.
You get. So we're going to find things to fill those time, right? To show that we're still providing value, right? And then we're going to ensure that by the time we're doing this, we're going to test again and again to ensure that by the time it gets to these people's hand,
it's not that we took extra time and then it came faulty.
It's nonsense, right? So then is that moment that, okay, when you are now submitting, you'll be like, oh yeah, we were able to do this, and then we're even able to add something extra. Then they'll be like, okay, that's nice. That's nice. Love it. So communicating failure or impending failure is that ensuring that you have a plan.
Yes.
You need to have a plan. Don't just drop it on my feet and be like, I don't know how to figure it out. Or sometimes you could actually not know how to do it. And then you'll be like, see, I don't know how to do this. Yeah, right?
But say it on time.
I have explored this option. This is what I've explored and all of that. What do you think about this? How do you think we can get this done within the time stipulated and all of that? And then they will come. It's almost like you are bringing it to their table, saying that, help me.
Right? Let them now say that, oh no, this won't work because but at least you give them
so
an
is
option.
That now we are trying to solve this problem together.
Not that you are giving it back to me. Also.
And then when
that's very important.
At some point they will even be like, you know what? With this new solution we have, it's going to take more time.
So
take extra time, and they would also be the one to now say, you know what? Let me go and let the stakeholders know that it's going to take some more time and all of that, and they will now back you up, right? The failure is no longer yours alone; it's now our failure, and then we are trying to turn this failure into a win. Yeah,
that's very important. That's very important. Okay, now I want to talk about because human beings, things do happen.
Sure.
So conflict. When there's fire on the mountain, like maybe sometimes you are Joanna now.
Hey God.
Okay, no, you are Joanna,
Please,
but like
Joanna,
this is the burden of being the Beyonce
of the group. God. This is why you don't to include people. You don't say let me help them. You do too much. Okay, wait. Excluding this young woman now.
Let me tell you, half of what I say is just my intrusive thoughts.
Definitely is.
It's obvious.
How did we get to?
It's obvious. But anyway, how do you handle conflicts, right, with your stakeholders, right? Or first of all, tell us like a particular time. We want the tea of like conflict that happened with a stakeholder. But like, how do you generally manage that? Because it's not all the time people be aligned. To be honest.
True.
So yeah.
One that comes to mind is, I think, one of our pipeline programs. We had this stakeholder who came and said, oh, you guys said that you will give us a job after this program and all of that. So we're like, no. So the program manager, at the time, I wasn't directly managing. I was managing the person managing. And the program manager was like, no, we didn't say this and all of that. But then it was now like, okay. I think what I was just like, bro, go and carry this person's contract and give him. Right? Maybe he has forgotten the terms of the contract. Is that we stated that we will provide, what we are going to do, we are committing to is that we'll provide quality education, we'll provide quality resources, provide quality mentorship and all of that. We would also provide access to opportunities, but we are not promising that we will give you a job.
Yeah.
Right? We are going to ensure that, okay, all of the tools you need. So the idea is you have some work to do. It's not like, oh, because we said we'll promise we'll give you a job and then we'll now go and find employer and bring. We'll tell you, bring your CV, we'll submit and all of that. This person wanted to just sit and we'll handle everything. That was where they were coming from.
I know what Rachel wanted to say. He wanted to sit on his
And I was like, are we allowed to say that?
Don't get us demonetized.
So like the whole thing, what I just said was, okay, let's go back to the contract. Like the contract stated XYZ, this is this, and then we sent the contract, and then the person was like, oh, that shuts the person up.
Oh, of course.
Right. So I would say when managing conflict, right, some of the most important part is ensure that your legal part is clear, right, and remember what you stated in the
Committed
contract,
to,
right, what
yeah.
you committed to. But then there's also the parts where it's just me and you. There's no contract.
Yeah, I would say that try and write every. I remember when I was telling Rachel this, that any conversation that needs to be referenced or that will likely need to be referenced in future,
Yeah. Have
have
in
that
email,
conversation
right?
in an email thread,
Yeah.
or it doesn't even have to be an email. Even if it's just sending a text
Yes.
on WhatsApp, on Slack.
Yeah. Or sometimes you've even had a conversation, you come and
just
say,
doesn't-
sequel
sequel
to our
to-
conversation.
Or even just be like, even
Yes,
if it's,
easy,
even if,
yeah.
even if it's casual, just be like, bro, like, I mean, sometimes you and I do it when we've had meetings,
Yeah,
and
just quote it.
we've said, oh, these are our next steps for, this.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I'm sending it to you on WhatsApp, I'm saying, okay, so our next steps are this, Oluwatoyin, this, Joanna.
Yeah.
Quoting it.
Let nobody come back and say they don't remember
They
what
don't-
they were
let's
supposed
not
to
do
do.
that. Let's not do that.
Just go and
Yeah.
quote, full stop.
Yeah. I think with conflict, sometimes it's just understanding everyone's what your needs are. Let's say I'm the middle. I'm actually
The middleman. Like you're literally sitting
Yeah.
the middle woman. Okay.
So Joe has this needs. You have your own needs as a stakeholder. And then you are like, you guys are not agreeing right now. Is that you want more, Joe wants more. I think conflict management or conflict resolution is more about negotiation.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And like it's negotiation. Like there was this time that I had to like be very intentional about learning how to negotiate, right? Is that okay, everybody have these needs, and then me, I also have my own needs, right? Like so in one way or the other is how can I support you to get your needs met, you to get your needs met, but then to also on everybody to understand that we won't all have 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So there are times that okay, you may even in contract it's stated that oh we are doing this, and sometimes you would even want to like budge, right? You are my guy. I don't want to ruin this relationship because I would need you as a partner for my next project.
Yes.
So because of that, I want to ensure that we settle this in the best way possible. Is that I would bring something extra to the table to help, maybe not completely meet your needs, but then bring something extra to the table to tell you, okay, this is what I can offer right now. Can you wait till XYZ time and see? Let's revisit this conversation. The truth is, some new priorities will come up, and in that 3 months or so, that may not even be something that you look at it and be like, why are we even fighting
Why
over
did
this?
we?
Right? And then expecting that, okay, you two have to sort of like bring something to the table. Meet me halfway, right? But then there's also the part of with conflict, being able to remove your emotions out of it, right? Is that everybody is writing, will believe that they are right? There's this thing that, is it, whoever said the customer is right, doesn't really know the business. Like, is the business that is right and all of that. So, is that you are coming to me, I am coming to you, we're trying to meet a particular goal. I can't give you everything. If I give you everything, then why am I here? Right? And if you give me everything, then why are you here? Like, we could all work in isolation, right? So it's all of our needs are important, but then all of our emotions are valid. But then right now, can we try to take our emotions out of this and then be very fair to each other? Right? Is that fairness? And then understanding that some people could also be on the very left end and you could also be on the very right end, and you can't please everybody. Right? I think having that whole, I won't be able to. You are not jollof rice, right?
Jollof rice does
Even
not
jollof
please
rice doesn't
everybody.
please
Honestly, because when I was younger,
like,
you couldn't, like, jollof couldn't hold the light to fried rice. I just have to
so
say.
like you're
What
not
about now?
Debatable.
They can be the same conversation. Yeah.
So like you're not jollof rice, so
Yeah,
you can't
you're just
please
hitting
everyone, and
box.
because you can't please everyone means that you have to accept that I can only give you what I can, and what I can't give you, it's okay. What you can't give me, it's okay. So just accepting that we are all just trying to get the best thing out of this, and ensuring that all of your stakeholders are getting the best deal out of this. Yeah. If you're able to give everybody the best deal out of this, then in some ways you will get your own awesome parts. Yeah.
Okay. So next segment.
Why you do your eye like that now?
No, this segment is
We
just
got you
easy,
now.
It's chill. We just have quick
Okay.
rapid fire questions for you.
Is it words or sentence?
Oh, no,
How
no,
do I
no.
answer?
This
Which
one
guy?
is serious today, though. Even they ask us like extra. No worry.
Okay.
Don't worry, you know.
Okay. Wait. I'm adding a few extra entries.
What are you adding?
Say, Rachel. All the first position you were collecting, was it from choking your eyes out?
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow.
Okay, quick.
Yeah.
Quick snack. First one. Don't think much, oh. Sci-fi or K-drama?
Wow. Sci-fi.
I did it intentionally.
Wow, we need to capture that as a meme worthy moment. It was she was shocked. Sorry.
How could you do this to me? Okay.
So your K-drama people just threw them
No,
away.
I love them, but sci-fi for life, please.
Okay. Formal meetings or casual check-ins?
Casual
I
check.
knew it, don't worry. Business. Star Wars or Star Trek? Oh, see, I love it for me. Yeah,
Woo.
this snack is not very quick. Quick
Star
snack,
Trek.
please.
Choose one, eh?
Okay.
Star Wars, I'm sorry.
Not the apology.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Okay. Homebody or life of the party?
Homebody.
Of course.
You've told us.
Playlist or podcasts?
Playlist.
Azal. Oh yeah, be going.
I'm very confused.
Yes. Aside.
That you are very unscrupulous for that answer.
She don't even think about it. You didn't consider where you are.
Sure, you said rapid fire.
I don't get.
So wow.
Are you managing us, your stakeholders, like this?
That's so
I'm sorry, guys.
very poor.
I love
Stakeholder
there are
management.
podcasts that I love, but I am all for playlist.
She sits on
Wow. We are standing on this. Rachel, is this the hill you
Standing
really want
on
to die
business.
But we love a queen that is
Okay.
consistent. Okay.
I already knew what the answer to the first one was going to be between sci-fi and K-drama.
Yeah.
So now
Hey.
I'm going to pit sci-fi against something else.
Okay.
Classical music or sci-fi?
Jesus.
It's the people that really know you that do you. I just want you to know that.
You know what? Okay.
She's adding more.
Why are you doing
No,
that?
no. It's just I review.
Classical music or
No, you're taking too
no,
long.
no.
Come on,
I'm
Rachel.
sorry, guys. Sci-fi.
Okay.
Oh,
no, classical music.
it's giving that interview,
Sci-fi.
Dua Lipa or Rihanna.
Okay.
I think she's just mentioning the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know the answer to this always fire. Movies or series?
Series.
Of course. Boring babe.
I love her.
I am committed.
I
Long
can see.
term.
I can't see. Okay. Just two more. Travel to Korea or Singapore?
Korea.
I knew it. I
South
knew it.
Korea.
To be specific.
That was FJ.
Please.
But it'd be interesting to go to North Korea, you know?
You don't want too much film. Oh,
Shey, you will
yeah.
clone. Okay, you can send your clone, Sha. You can send your clone. Last one.
Yeah.
No ice cream for the rest of your life or no Andrea Bocelli live concert ever.
Jesus.
I'm supposed to cut out this Jesus part. Wow. Joanna, why?
You know what? This game should be called Dilemma.
Right? But
Ah,
taking
no
too
ice
long.
cream.
No ice cream. I knew it.
No ice cream.
You
Yeah.
rather, so you know how to
But let me
just
just
remember
tell you.
again.
Let me just tell you, you
See.
rejected classical music for sci-fi. So no, guess what? You get nothing. No Andrea Bocelli and no ice cream. Zero. You and your sci-fi. Use your sci-fi to keep yourself warm at night.
Guys, this is who Joanna is in real life.
Yes, I agree.
This is who she is in real
For
life.
real.
Anyway, we're pretty much at the end of this episode.
Ooh.
Yes, and it's been
It
a
has been a pleasure having me.
Okay. For God's sake, you
are
didn't
the
allow
issues.
us to feel the pleasure. You said by myself, I've honored this invitation.
I feel like you guys had a great time.
wow.
You didn't have a great time. We
Rachel,
come on.
security.
security.
I will expose your middle name for all to know.
Yeah, my middle name is James.
Wow.
Super proud of it.
It's actually quite cool, actually. I find it cool.
Our middle name is what
James.
now?
James.
I give us a little story about.
It's just her father's name.
It's just my father's name, but then it just talk, right? I've been saying I want to change it, but
Don't
then
change it.
I'm like, you know,
That's so
what?
interesting.
Give your daughter, let it be the legacy, actually.
Rachel
God
James.
give- yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
My daughter's name is going to be Zoe. So Zoe James.
Such a Lagos mom name.
No, like me, it's not even the Lagos name. It's the meaning of the light
Okay,
of-
God will give you
Yeah.
another.
The
God will give you
God
another
kind of
version of that
light.
name. That
Jesus.
please, there must be something else that also means what Zoe
But
means.
before we go, I
Yeah.
wanted us to talk about,
Yeah.
just some of the tools you use
Yeah.
for stakeholder management that you found that is very effective.
So a lot of people would say they use Trello. I think one of my personal favorites is Trello and Sheets. Like I can be very boring, so Google Sheets is one of the best ways for me, like to manage stakeholders. Yeah,
Just keeping up with
Google
them and
Sheets,
checking.
like just ensuring that, and then calendar, right? So the moment I have a conversation with you and we say this, I'm adding it to calendar immediately, right? So and then I'll put it on my alarm, like okay, checking on this person 2 minutes before that time, because I know there's a lot going on, so I might actually
Yeah.
forget, right? So Trello and Google Sheets.
And
Okay.
your calendar and alarms.
Yes.
Okay.
Well done on being the
Thank
best
you.
stakeholder manager.
Thank you.
I mean, one could ask for.
They're all
Except
welcome.
in French. Okay,
They're
no,
all
actually, you're better than me. I don't, like, if I ever accuse you
Yeah.
of poor stakeholder management, look, just go and carry a
be
mirror
like-
and hold it up to me.
I'll be
Look at
like,
yourself, Joe. Yes. But
Fair
thank you
enough.
so much.
I still have an unread message from you.
That one saved day. But you saw me.
Oh.
I knew that I was going to see you today.
And
Mind you, this woman that is accusing me of this thing, I sent her email since 2 weeks ago. She replied me last night.
Do you know that?
Everybody's
I've had-
airing their
I
dirty laundry, and me, I'm here like, okay, you speak. Okay, you next.
I opened that email. I wanted to respond, but then I was like, you know what? I'm actually working on improving, like working up my bio. So let me wait. And then somehow I didn't get to do it. And so yesterday I was like, So I was clearing up my emails, and then I was like, which old email do I have that I've
Okay,
not?
so you
Because
forgot me.
No. So what happened is I opened the email and then closed it. Right, so I do this thing where I open an email for me to not forget. If I had left it open, my dear, sorry, but I left it and I was sort of
Mark
like
as unread.
mark
As
it
unread,
as
yeah.
unread, right? And then I was like trying to clear up emails, and I was like, there's
There's
an old
something.
email. Then I was like, it's Joe, sorry, Then I went and I texted.
Don't worry, we'll
But
not have
I was
introduced
thinking
you
about
today.
it. I was
Do you
like,
get? We just say we
know
have
me.
someone here.
Like, I
You
was
know me
like,
as what? I don't
Yeah.
understand. Am I content writer on your team or what? You know me as
you
what?
have pitched
Excuse
yourself.
me, this lovers quarrel.
It's okay.
I love it for you guys.
Audience,
I love it.
the tuners in.
Oh my.
Wow.
Who's that?
Think the people who tuned in.
She's not managing you guys
You
as
guys,
stakeholders well enough.
you're so rude for that. Okay, anyway.
Rachel, that was good. Well done.
Thank you,
You
my
tried,
dear.
you
Thank you.
tried,
Thank
tried.
you.
Thank you for all that, all our sundry.
Anyway, if you want to identify your stakeholder management skills, where you need to learn, what you need to learn, we have a tool for you, right? We have the career in context conversation. It tells you where you are at your career, what you need to do next, right? So you get step-by-step guides on what to do next. So please make sure to check in our bio and get it. It will break it down for you. And an important tip is definitely stakeholder management, right? So you would learn the skills that you actually you would know the skills that you actually need to learn to move up in your career.
And as always,
That's it.
if you're considering, a maybe career pivot or just exploring new knowledge, skills, whatever, always choose AltSchool as your number one learning partner.
I know
so
you're
please-
smiling about that.
Yes. So please don't forget to do that. Explore the wide range of courses that they have available to you. And importantly, please don't forget to share this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, wherever you are actually, even if it's on Spotify, you can do all of this. So please do that.
Yes,
and without further ado, wink wink, Fisayo Fosudo.
Wrap it up.
Can I say that I'm actually proud of you guys?
We have this on camera.
Like, interestingly, I remember at the beginning of this year, we were having conversations and you said you were going to do a podcast, and I was like, okay. I know that Jo always says, when she says she's going to do something, she jumps on it, right? But then is that this one, the way she was so intentional about it.
We added it to our
if only
calendar.
you would be intentional about my relationship with
God, Rachel.
But
Let me just say that I'm also really, really proud of you, even though you're owing me content for the next, like, anyway.
Everybody
away
with
from
their
from
laundry.
there.
And I
But
love it.
thank
The
you guys
good
so
thing
much.
is that she said she's proud of us.
I'm so
That's
proud of
taking
you.
it.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you.
See you.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you.